Welcome to Feats Fantasies, Cataclysm Rising.
Would you like one in the color of pool?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so here's where we left off. You guys had just captured Hovar, locked him in the military barracks, and relayed some information to the captain there, Marisha Tanis. You told Aaron had relayed information about the Dreadwatch, who had built a small fort in the nearby forest, and with the intent of using it as a basically a branch for their organization. And while heading back, figuring out what to do with Hovar, 5 of the Dreadwatch bandits had attacked the town, looking to rescue their leader.
And we fucking killed them all.
Yes, you did. You managed.
Except one.
Well, yeah, except for one, Jimmy. You guys.
Poor Jimmy.
The military had arrived to help. But you'd already finished up. But at that point, you guys decided that you're going to storm the fort, and at the moment, that's where you guys are headed. With Jimmy in tow, he leads you guys through the forest. And Aaron, you also happen to know where the base would be, since you've been scouting the area for a little while before returning to Marisha with news.
Hey, it's that way.
So yeah, the forest is.
Pull it up on MapQuest. Here, check it out.
Who uses MapQuest?
Apparently you.
No.
So apparently that you guys are making your way through the forest. It's a bit of a trek. It's not as much for you, since you've kind of since you've been through here back and forth multiple times in the day, in the night. And around this point, it's about 2 PM. You guys have just entered the forest. Probably have walked a good 10 minutes through it. And you believe you're getting close. Everybody roll a quick survival check.
Damn.
18.
Nice.
7.
All right, so
14.
14. So what was your character's name again? Oh wait, no, yeah, Neville.
Beyond.
Nev.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Nev and Amethyst are able to make their way through the woods very quickly. You, with your naval background, find yourself a little bit here and there. You're kind of stumbling through the forest. Everyone is kind of just trying to make their way. With Jimmy and Marisha pretty much leading the helm, she has him cuffed, and he's leading you guys through the area, as well as
Hold on 2 seconds.
Yes.
What's my name?
Neville.
Neville.
How did we spell it?
Nev.
Oh my god. Nev, Nev.
Is it apostrophe or comma?
I feel like it's umlaut. Nevul.
And then VEL or VUL, whichever one you want to go with.
It's your name. How do you spell it? Spell it how you want.
Dude, I don't know. I
Use
never
nothing
wrote
but
it.
vowels if you want.
And still somehow get Neville.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
My amnesia's cured.
Type out Rocky
And
and say, "That's
as you start going through the woods, you've noticed that the trees are starting to thin, and some of you're actually starting to see stumps in the area, and eventually the forest thicket begins to get a lot more clearer, and eventually you find yourselves before an obviously man-made wooden structure. Marisha halts her men, asks, "So Jimmy, this place?" Jimmy quietly says, Yes, it is." Then she looks. She goes, "Mm-hmm," and looks at you, Nev, and says, "Nev, is this the place?"
Well, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Phone just
It's like, all right. She begins moving forward, and over the wall, you see 3. Well, I mean, let's just say that they're on a wall at this point. of the fort. Wow, what the heck? These pieces are not designed to be on this bridge. What the fuck? We'll just...
Plus, it's supposed to have railing too, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm pretending this was a wall, but they don't stand on the side of it. So, anyways, you hear a halt, and three bodies poke over the top of the area. Two men armed with crossbows are aiming at your group, and one stands over, calling out, "Halt! This is Dreadwatch territory. Turn back now, or we'll open fire." Mercer says, "We've got one of your guys and killed five more of yours back in town, and we've got your leader. Who's in charge around here at this point?"
4 guys.
4 guys, yes.
4 guys.
Yeah.
We killed 4 guys.
Right.
Jimmy is still alive.
Yeah, Jimmy's still alive. It's like, correction, we got one of your guys and 4 are dead. And your assumed leader's back in town. Who's even in charge here at this point? As far as I know, there should only be 4 more men in there.
What do we do with Jimmy?
We got Jimmy. Jimmy's right there.
I thought it was the lead.
Right there.
I thought it was the big bad leader.
No, big bad leader's locked in town.
He's locked up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we took him with us.
Nah. I mean, did you guys want to take him with you?
No.
Okay, good.
We left him locked up.
All right, so
Purposely.
um,
But I'm now just realizing,
I got a better idea.
if the whole military is here, who's guarding Hovar?
No. This is like a small unit.
No, it's not like the Dreadwatch. They actually have more than 5 members.
I'm just concerned here. I'm just
there.
concerned.
It's like Mercer turns to you. Don't worry, there are people watching, keeping tabs on him.
How about we don't leave and you just come out?
We got more people than 4 in here. We're many men strong, and we're gonna.
You
we're gonna slaughter all
dumbasses!
of you.
Jimmy told me there's 4 of you.
Damn it, Jimmy! I'm sorry. Mercer says, "It's like, I'll say again one more time. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. It's like
The hard way.
we can break down those flimsy doors of yours and storm the place before you even have a chance to reload. Or you can surrender quietly and all of you can come back to Red Pine with your heads. Up to you."
Both of them.
I thought the door was only an overturned bridge.
No.
I thought it was already.
No. There's a door.
Okay.
It's very sexy.
I'm gonna reach in my pocket.
Oh,
Sexy.
you're
Leave my hand
perfect
in my
for
pocket
this,
right
this
now.
encounter
Okay.
then.
All right.
This is what we bring.
The guy who's been speaking for the Dreadwatch at the moment just kind of looking around in a bit of a anxious state and says, "All right, hold on a second." And then he pretty much says, "You two, keep your eyes on him." And then you see him disappear behind the wall. And for a moment, nothing really seems to happen. Mercer says, he's like, "You got 3 minutes, then we're busting down this door."
3 minutes. That's a long time.
I mean, if this is encounter, yeah.
How many windows are there?
So,
It is a fort. There are no windows at the moment that you can see.
I had to ask.
but
Okay,
there is
actually,
a
how about
gate.
this? How about this? Roll perception check.
Oh Lord! These dumbasses build a window in their fort.
Please tell me they put a window in it. 16.
16. All right. Oh wow. Okay. There are no windows.
No windows whatsoever. Okay.
Honestly, if I'd rolled lower, you would have just seen a single window pane just standing alone in the middle of the forest. It's like you know like that mirror and the animals in the jungle. That's what it would have been.
And just watch, I would have broken that window, and then the entire campaign.
Oh, I
you
forgot.
have to
You were
rewrite
looking for a window to
everything.
break it. You were looking for a window to break it.
It's like suddenly you just fall through the shattered window and now you're in Wonderland.
No, I released Cthulhu. Something worse.
Okay, so
God.
a bit of time goes by and the head pops over again. All right, we'll surrender on what is like on a number of conditions. Where it says you have no conditions. Yes.
I want to fire an arrow at his head. Purposefully missing.
Let's fire a cat.
Right as he's saying conditions.
Okay.
Just right by his head.
I have 2 conditions for you.
Okay. First off, you roll.
Just pop.
Do you even have a bow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll a straight dexterity check.
Strength, dexterity.
No, a straight dexterity.
Oh, straight dexterity. So no modifier.
No, with modifier.
Oh,
it's just
okay.
it's just you're not rolling for anything else. Just dexterity.
16.
16. Okay. As he said, and whoosh, you quick draw your bow and fire right past him. The 2 guards go immediately just kind of shuffle, but they don't fire.
Conditions.
They're just like,
No conditions.
Then what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation real fast.
What are you gonna do? You just said you got 2. You were saying you have 2 conditions.
I am going to pull out Hovar's testicles in my hand.
I was gonna say put a window over his face so I can throw an axe at it.
It cannot make something that big.
Okay. Roll a
Window.
roll for intimidation.
Hand window.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
A hand-shaped piece of glass.
It's a miniature window about yay big on top of a handle. You
13.
can even open it open.
Oh yeah, that's cool. He sees the arrow flies by his hood, tearing a quick hole in it. He's just like, oh, oof. The 2 guards are kind of just are there. They seem really primed, ready to fire. You say your thing again.
I'm gonna reach in my pocket and cast prestidigitation. I'm gonna hold up a pair of testicles and let him know. You gotta end up like Hovar.
Like, oh god. All right. Lay your weapons down. The 2 of them just slowly put down their weapons and just hands in the air and just open the damn gate. And one of them, and then the gate begins to open. Marisha says, "All right, boys, rub them up," and they just start marching in. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say. Well, I was just gonna make a statement. We just did an intimidation without having to perform an intimidation check.
Well, he still had to perform the check.
No, you
so.
don't
Oh,
need
you had to do an
I
intimidation?
had to, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never
I had
mind.
to.
But
Never
let's
mind.
be honest, when you're holding up someone's testicles, you don't need an intimidation check. It's just a guaranteed right.
I'm going to.
Advantage. With advantage.
All right, so
Accurate.
at this point,
This.
yeah, everyone's
I am going to stay outside the gate.
okay. So at this point, Marisha starts moving her soldiers in. They're just a few minutes come by, and eventually, she and her soldiers bring them out in a line. They're all roped together in kind of a chain gang, and she adds Jimmy to the line.
Is their fort now empty?
Yes.
I want Amethyst to run in there screaming booze and try and find whatever alcohol I can.
Roll for investigation.
Fantastic.
All right, Marisha turns to you. All right, that's 5 heads along with the 4 that you just actually taken. So you'll get your pay tomorrow. For now, we're gonna process these guys, and we are going to celebrate. It's like you're welcome to join us.
13.
13. You do manage to find at least 5 bottles of whiskey.
Good
A lot
whiskey?
of whiskey. Does it matter? Does your character care?
Do you?
Do you care?
Con artist, she has some level of standards.
It's not.
What does it matter?
It's
She
pretty.
was sober when she broke that window.
It's pretty. It's
Like not shitty whiskey. At the very least, like
have two bottles are kind of very cheap whiskey. The 3 are decent, what you'd find in a tavern. Nothing too fancy.
I found booze, my eggs. I'm going to get drunk as fuck tonight.
Well, somebody's already celebrating.
Aye.
All right, we'll see you guys back in town. Meet us over at meet us over at the Red Pine Tavern when you can.
Another place we couldn't go back to.
Ma'am, we may not be allowed in that establishment.
Aye, that's a bad idea.
All right, well, I'll then.
I don't remember.
Well,
do we
she has 5 bottles of whiskey. You guys know what to do. All right.
Aye, 4 of them are for me. I don't think you can split this last one.
Okay. Well, we'll probably catch you in the streets at some point. Maybe I can persuade the bar owner to make an exception for tonight.
Did we set
ma'am?
the place on fire, or did we
Something-
just break windows?
We have caused property damage.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. All right, let's get a move on.
I'm
And-
starting to. It's starting to come back to me how these two are just going to be the death of me.
So, she starts moving her men in the chain gang
Something about all this seems way too easy.
down the road. It's the first thing.
I know, I was expecting to go in and like get him fighting and all that crap, but no.
You know, if
we only have
it
an hour.
is, I'll probably be poisoned by the booze first, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll be your canary.
So are you guys gonna
sexy
explore the rest of the
baby
base for now, or are you gonna head back to town with them?
I'd like to quickly just see what I can see.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
It's nat 18.
Okay. So what are you guys looking for
14.
specifically?
Case.
That's a 21. I see everything.
Mine is an 18.
Ooh,
18.
can I find any good musical shit?
Okay. You do find what seems to be just a simple loot. Just lying around. It's in could be better condition. It's very
Buzz. What was that? Oh, yeah, it's just us.
Just remember about 11:20. I have to start walking up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 10:55.
I just heard noise. I'm like,
We should be fine. Go ahead. Yeah. How long have we been recording?
start at 10:30.
Oh boy.
So we got 18 minutes of recording. Aside from the a minute and a half that we spent doing this.
Oh, can I do it? Can I do it?
No.
Just do it. Just do it. Go.
Okay. All right. So, continuing.
Death of me.
All right. So continuing.
I'm just going to. I'm investigating to see if any of these chain gangers are having any hidden weapons on them.
Chain gangers?
Oh, okay.
Chain.
Oh, you know, that's a probably smart idea. Of
So
course
yeah,
would
you
think
do.
of
You start patting them down. It's like don't worry about it. We patted them down before they tried anything stupid. But you do manage to find a dagger hidden in the boots of one of them.
I'm going to
Jimmy?
keep that.
Jimmy?
Who was
Jimmy.
it?
Not
Was it
Jimmy.
Jimmy?
It was not Jimmy?
Jimmy?
But
Yeah.
it's Jimmy's fault. He didn't tell us.
Oh, I'll bet it was the one that you shot the arrow at.
Oh, no.
We never got his name.
Jimmy deserved
Wait a minute.
quick, swift kick in the ass.
No. What's gonna happen to Jimmy? Jimmy, what happened to Jimmy? What's happening to him?
These guys will process. They'll be shipped away to.
Oh, no. Jimmy upheld his deal. Let him go.
We'll figure that out when we get to town.
Ooh, Jimmy can be Gunther's character.
Jimmy, you're in court. Find me. I'll testify.
Who's this Gunther you speak of?
What are you talking about,
Who-
dude?
what are you-
What is this nonsense? Go home.
All
I
right.
figured he
So
would be one of my imaginary friends.
so you find a loot that could be in better condition, but it is decently tuned. You do find a hidden knife, and Aaron, what were you looking for?
Might as well take it.
Nothing in particular, just anything that seemed out of the ordinary or off. Because
Okay.
I'm pretty suspicious about this whole thing. This whole thing's been going way too easy.
Okay.
Other than them.
Well, you do find what seems to be a makeshift office with a few papers scattered about, mostly just notes concerning activity in the town, manifests, future plans, various routes and locations of other
That sounds like all very
That's
important
actually
things.
really
Of,
serious.
of other Dreadwatch locations in the area,
That's really
and
good intel.
as well as Hovar's personal journal.
I'm pocketing that.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
How about I
read
use-
around the campfire type material.
How about signs of any other humans?
Or any other life.
Or unlife.
No, it seems like these guys are the only ones who've been squatting here for the past however long it's been.
So literally just 4 guys in a.
10 guys actually.
10 guys all
10 guys in a
squatting
fort.
together.
until we
Yeah.
messed up their day.
5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Oh, I know. Actually, specifically something I'm going to look for. Anything that says more about her.
Oh, okay.
That because that I remember. That came back to mind.
Okay. So when you do pick up Hovar's journal, just don't forget to add the to his
trying.
inventory.
I did not.
Yeah, add a dagger. That's just like I think it's like a.
Yeah.
Look up dagger. I'll figure out what the damage for that is.
I already have that.
Okay, so when you do find Hovar's journal and you flip through it, you do catch Amethyst's name showing up in there a few times, mostly relating to specifically that she took essentially I believe it was a signet ring that would lead to her former mentor's vault of treasures that would range with millions and millions of gold worth of valuables. And whoever would find that would pretty much be the richest person on the continent, probably even the world. So at this point, the turning in a bounty or something like that, or just a simple, or whatever pay the Dreadwatch offers seems pale in comparison to this secret vault that only Amethyst seems to have access to.
I see. Okay, cool.
All right, so you pocket that. Are you guys gonna look for anything else?
I think I'm good.
Okay. You all good?
Yep.
Aaron?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, so you guys make your way back through the forest. This time with a bit more experience, you managed to go back fairly easily this time without tripping over any roots or stray bushes. And you eventually find your way back into town as it's probably about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the daytime. Sun is starting to peak. Is starting to settle a little ways above the horizon, but it's not sunset yet. And passing by, you do happen to see a sign for a place called Legati Legacy's Emporium and Wares.
Hey, that's the place. Hey, that's the place.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a helpful hardware store. No, wait, no. That's copyrighted.
No, that's where that one guy was that we were supposed to go and meet that we never went and met.
Oh yeah.
We should go meet that guy.
Oh, well, but he's already dead, waiting for us. Is he already
We're gonna go
dead?
see if he's there.
All right. Okay, so
I don't know why I'm bringing these two along, but...
You see the sign that says Legati Legacy's Emporium of Wares, and you creak open the door, and there's a jingle. And upon the jingle, you immediately hear, "Welcome! Hello, and welcome to Legati Legacy's Emporium and Wares. I am not Legati Legati. This is a franchise. Call me Elias Banner."
Oh, so you're just like, Tommy Bahama, but you're like not actually Tommy Bahama.
Essentially, I mean, the real Legati is somewhere in Maxis. So he managed to open up a store here, and I sent him a portion of the profits, etc., etc., etc. You know how business goes. So yeah, you see this this man who this rather sickly, skinny-looking man who somehow manages to provide this rather explosive and loud voice, but for some reason he kind of just leans back as he talks. Since what can I help you fine gentlemen with on this most auspicious of days?
We were told that we were supposed to meet a gentleman here. He looked like
Oh, Leonard! Are you talking about Leonard?
Yeah.
Oh, Leonard! You have some fellow compatriots sitting down here at the foyer.
I eye you suspiciously.
As he yells up towards the ceiling, you kind of hear the pattering of footsteps. And down comes a man covered in robes with an eye patch with an eye patch and a scarred face with a hood over his head. He says, "Oh, the folks from the Red Pine Tavern. It's like, I'm so glad you could make it. So glad you could make it. I was hoping to see you more earlier in the morning, but it's considering what happened in town earlier, I assume that's what kept you."
We were busy.
No, we had nothing to do with us. We just took our time.
We were busy.
We were slept in, man. It was a long night.
Understandable.
We were attacked by 4 men
Impressive. Very
and 1
impressive.
Jimmy.
Impressive. Very impressive. I think you will be the most the perfect people for the job. Then it's Elias. It's like fantastic. It's like, oh, these are people you've hired, Leonard. Oh, what a most wonderful and jubilant day of joy it's been. Oh, yes. Perfect. I do not know if Leonard introduced me to you, but as I said before, I'm Elias Banner, and whoever is helping Leonard on this most treacherous of trepidous adventures, then they get a lovely discount at the store on whatever equipment they need for this expedition they are going to embark upon.
How much of a discount?
I'll tell you the prices, and yeah, I have a list. The prices there are already discounted. So
I was expecting something like, you get 5% off.
What a discount!
5% off on all orders over $200.
And yes, and it's like yes. My friend here is allowing a discount on all the equipment here, and as a show of good faith, I'm going to give you a down payment of 100 gold to start off with.
To do what?
You'll be joining me on an expedition to the Crystal Caves, which is just a short trek up the mountain near here, to help me collect some crystals needed for various research. They have many very fascinating properties, and to an extent, they're just rather pretty. Leonard hopes to collect some to be able to sell off and send to the main store in Maxis. And me, well, I have my own personal uses for them as well. So we like to collect a sizable cash to bring back. And my first attempt, as you can see, wasn't the most successful. The cave is filled and rife with kobolds. I happened to venture a little too far in and got the better of it as a result. So
I'm dirty Kobold.
Yes, so I'm hoping to
Oh
have...
God, what are those?
Kobold.
Wait, hold on, seriously, did you find a moth or something, or?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Kobolds.
speaking to God.
Kobolds, they're rather vicious little, greedy little creatures, little lizard people who covet shiny trinkets and whatnot, and a cave full of rare crystals is definitely something on the top of their list. Possibly the only reason they haven't tried to invade this town to steal people's jewelry and bangles and whatnot.
See, you can't blame me for all of it.
Yeah, but somehow you're gonna fuck up this quest. Somehow.
Aye, probably, though, but that's not what I'm talking about now.
Can we have somebody set up a timer?
No.
What time is it? I'll just keep an eye on the clock. It's 11:07.
Okay. So maybe we can call this at like 15, or would that be calling too close?
No, 15 should be fine.
Okay. So feel free. So here's 100 gold. Feel free to make use of it at the store, or not. But this place does sell some very fascinating wares. All that I'm pretty sure will help us on this journey.
What kind of wares? Like dishwares?
All right. Feel free to look around. So far, what you see in there are various healing potions. You see some ammunition like arrows and quivers, various potions, various bits and pieces of armor, a few religious talismans like pendants and stuff hanging near the door. Leonard, would you happen to have anything that could help these people? It's like, oh, but of course. Here, let me. Oh yes, this just came in a little while ago. He runs to the back. Please, look around. If there's anything you need, just ask. I'll be right back. And he heads over into the back. So yeah, like I said, there's stuff around. It's a very fancily, flamboyantly decorated place. It's almost hard to tell where the decorations end and where the actual products begin. But yeah, bottles of various color line the shelves. You see some arrows and quivers, a few bits and pieces of armor here and there, and yeah.
Anything in particular that stands out?
You do see a nice, very clean bit of black leather armor. Seems seems fairly new. It doesn't seem like it's been worn yet. You see several pendants hanging on like a little tree, for lack of a better word. A little stand that has
those are cute.
yeah, the various symbols of the various gods. Those would help you on the way. Yeah, that's mostly what you can see in there at the moment.
Any good like axes or any pendants that might help me in any help me particularly in any way?
Yeah, you do see a what god do you worship?
I didn't realize I had to start looking through gods.
Oh, I thought I sent you one.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Okay, well, if you we can
she's
take over
a
that
con
later.
woman whose biological father was a con priest. So as far as I'm concerned, she's an atheist.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Well, there is a nice shiny battle axe nicely mounted on the wall with a few variety of other weapons. Eventually, he comes back with a scroll, and it's like, this lovely piece of parchment right here is a scroll of spectral spirit destruction. If you cast it, a spectral spirit will rise from the ground,
Want it.
distracting.
Hold on. Did you read it yet?
I don't want to read it.
You need to read it.
I don't want to
scroll,
read
it's
it.
for read it.
But I'll read it later.
Yes.
I want it.
All right, that will be 25 gold, please.
Does that include the Elder
right.
Scrolls?
You All right.
I toss it down with such vigor.
All right, thank you for your purchase. Simply call out the name written on the scroll, and a spectral spirit will be summoned for you, and it will and you can cast it 30 feet away, but you can only use it once a day. It can be used 5 times, but you can repair it with the right resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron, player of Novell from Cataclysm Rising. We're going to take a short rest, but here's a teaser for our upcoming project.
Zeramonia, a diverse world with a long war-torn history. In the lands of Arcadia, we find our group of adventurers,
Vimic Badger,
Ronpip, Evan Essence.
each with particular skills, are hired for a job and find themselves on the adventure of a lifetime.
Yeah, nah, man. You see all those trees? I'm telling you, they're in them.
it's a time spider.
Do they find many successes and victories?
Oh, not 20. Oh, is that salmon? I love salmon.
I was going to make Alex sew my hair back on.
You roll natural 20?
Or do they fall to their trials and fail?
And it lets off this horrific scream.
I have like dragging all my stuff behind me, trying to keep up.
Does a 23 hit?
Nat 1.
And we're gonna take a break because now you get to pick a second class and level up to 2.
What? Of the Trivium of Time.
Find out January 17th on doubletake.xyz.
Thanks for listening to that teaser. We've recovered some of our HP, and now back to Feats and Fantasies, Cataclysm Rising.
He hands you a small trumpet with a scroll with a small bit of paper wrapped around it. You need to play these notes first before you can cast this. Before you can cast the spell. Before you can cast the vocal part of the spell, you must first play this trumpet and then cast the vocal part of the spell for it to actually activate. He hands you the small trumpet and the piece of paper attached to it as well.
Sweet.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Of course, my dear friend. Of course. Anything else you gentlemen might need? Do you guys remember what you bought from him so far?
I bought nothing.
Shoot.
Okay, so you haven't bought anything yet.
I
Okay.
don't remember buying anything.
Okay. Well, check your inventory real quick, and if there's a thing in particular that matches my list, I'll tell you everything that's in shop that is currently available right now.
My inventory won't show nothing.
Huh?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay, so what's currently in the shop, you see that there are healing potions, arrows, a potion of invulnerability, and a potion of invisibility, a potion of haste, the spell scroll that Aaron just bought, reinforced leather armor, and a variety of religious talismans, which, if you were to purchase, that all have signets of your respective gods, of any gods that you like worship or focus on. And so far, all you can see with the religious talismans are the legal, as approved by the Empire, by the Drexel Empire, to worship.
So no, like, gods or saints of thieving or the like, what's the name? Saint Rosaria?
I don't know.
Thieves and crooks.
Basically the other gods that are kind of outlawed.
I guess
like,
so. Okay.
The owner says it's all like, oh, you're looking for that, are you? Well, let me see. I don't have that. Shit, I should have brought that list with me because I forget what. Because he does have ones that apply to those gods, but I just don't have the. I forget. I don't have my religious.
I've never known any of the names. Great, thanks.
All right, give me one.
I think we're at a impasse. So.
Here, let me just find my drive real quick. So I mean, still, if you guys are still updating your characters, then go for it. Oh, god damn it!
How much for those potions of invisibility?
Oh, the potions of invisibility are. Oh, let me see. They're 10 gold each.
Let me get 4 of those.
4 of them. All right then. That'll be 40 gold total, please. Okay, I am not connected to my drive at all. Fantastic, and I forget what my Google password is. So.
It's the same as your luggage combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. So I mean, for now, I guess you can. We can come back to the to getting talismans later, if you need. But yes, 40 gold pieces, please, for the potions of invisibility.
Here you go.
All right. So subtract 40 from yours.
Got it.
Basic, and put down his information if you have some. Here, I'm gonna give you some paper.
Well, I think I can take notes on this app too.
Can? Okay. All right. So basically, these potions will make you invisible for 5 turns.
Okay.
You can make 2 stealth attacks with advantage, but the spell dispels after that. So meaning if you use on the first turn and attack something with it, then it dispels.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a normal invisibility rule. You have to, if you interact with anything, it's gone.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Otherwise, you're invisible for 5 turns the entire time.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. All right. Would anybody like anything else? Yeah. All right.
That's all I needed.
All right. Leonard's what?
You have any wine?
Wine. Oh yes, I do. Give me one second, please. He heads into the back. After a couple minutes, he comes back with a unopened bottle. It's like, this is a fine vintage from the year 1705. It's like, it's one of my personal favorites.
How much?
Oh, this one will run you about 50 gold.
Do you have anything slightly cheaper?
How cheap are we talking?
Like, say, I could get 3 bottles for that price.
All right. Let me see if I can find something. If I have something that's affordable in the back. He disappears. He disappears in the back. Leonard approaches you guys, and if you forget who Leonard is, he is a dude who is pretty much covered from head to toe, with just heavy fabrics. He's got like on a heavy cloak. He's got one glove, but his other hand is freed up. Is exposed. He's got a hood on. He seems to have like something of a beanie or a do-rag underneath, covering his head that comes down to about his brows. He's also got an eye patch, and he's got a turtleneck or a scarf covering most of his neck as well.
So he's secretly invisible.
No, you can see him. He's kind of like a white dude with gingery hair, from what you can see poking out from underneath the beanie or durag, and his face is also kind of pretty scarred up. He did tell you that his most recent expedition, he had encountered some kobolds, and he barely got away with his life. And he says, "Oh, that reminds me. I'd hired somebody else who had come into town recently before I'd seen you gentlemen. And he was originally going to be the only one coming with me, but after seeing your excellent performance, I thought I'd hire you as well, because frankly, we have power in numbers. So let me go and grab him." And he runs upstairs. Gunther, you are currently relaxing upstairs in the second floor of the banner of the what do I call this place again? Of the Banner's Keep. You hear a knock on the door.
Yes.
It's like, may I come in real quick, please?
Who is it?
Leonard, the gentleman who hired you and invited you to stay over here.
Oh, yes. Come in.
All right. The door opens. He says, "I have hired some more hands to help us with this expedition, and I would like you all to meet each other first before we head off. I think we'll be heading off quite shortly."
Of course. Yes.
All right. So after a few minutes, you guys hear the sounds of heavy footsteps coming down, and Leonard appears alongside what seems to be a tall humanoid lizard. Everyone, this is I'm sorry, what was your name again?
I am Sylack, the Dragonborn.
Do I notice anything weird about this Dragonborn?
Roll perspective check. Perception. Yeah.
Roll
Perspective. Huh.
Are you proficient in perception?
Let me check real quick.
Are you proficient in perspective?
Sometimes.
Why do I doubt that?
Do you need me to roll like deception? Or is he just trying to notice?
Yeah, he's just trying to notice first.
You wouldn't know, because I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I have
Plus
backstory.
5. I roll a 21.
Ooh. Okay.
Sees right
He
through
doesn't.
your
He doesn't.
soul.
You notice that he doesn't seem to have any particularly bulkier features that most Dragonborn have. He seems to be. He also seems to be lacking. Okay, do you have horns or?
I have.
Or do you kind of look like a Komodo dragon?
No, because I have a fin's not the correct word, but I basically have a head flap.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I have a dorsal fin upon my head.
Okay. I see.
Like Zoidberg?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
actually.
Exactly like Zoidberg. So let me just turn it on airplane mode again.
So
basically-
if the best description is I'm not perfectly tall like a Dragonborn would. They would like stand proudly. I'm like haunched over, but I'm still pretty big because the lizard man. My kind are huge, and instead of the horns you might see that like adorn their heads, I instead have more like a snake-like face, and I have the cockatoo flap.
Yeah, and his skin
My skin is green.
And if I may, his skin looks less prominently scaly and seems a bit more leather-like. It seems too smooth. No? Yeah. Okay. That'll work. Cool. Yeah, almost like a snake's rather than the most Dragonborn you've seen. Yeah. He's not as rough around the edges, essentially.
Oh, it's always good to have a Dragonborn.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
It's like Leonard is someone what was your name again?
Sylack.
Sylack. Spell that, please.
Sylack.
All right, Sylack, I met a couple of days ago. Initially, he was going to prepare. We were going to go over the plan as to what I was going to do, what I expected him to do. And he's been pretty much just shocked up here for the past day or two now, until I met you fine folk. And yeah, basically, I would like everyone to explain what is exactly they do.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
I'm kind of tired of working with people who I've only just met. No offense. But I don't know how comfortable I am with working with this gentleman.
Is there anything I can perhaps do or Sylack can do to ensure that a bit more trust?
What's your resume?
I was actually about to get that. I was going to have everybody introduce themselves properly, explain what they can and can't do.
Well, as you can see, I am a follower of Bahamut. And if you do not know Bahamut, she is the glorious five-headed dragon of good, of justice, of purity.
Oh, it's one of these guys.
Hold on.
takes a strong drink. It's like, this motherfucker.
Isn't that Shahamut?
No.
Are you? Alright, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not Dragonborn.
Out of curiosity, does anyone speak Draconic? Just real curious.
Don't think so, but let me double check. No.
Okay.
No, I speak Infernal.
That makes sense.
Are you fluent in Draconic?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Lizard folk are actually no Draconic.
Okay, cool.
But the joke was that my Draconic is different from Dragonborn Draconic. It's like the difference between hearing normal English and like Louisiana English.
Because I was actually going to see, it's like, if we ever have a scenario where you haven't talked to a Dragonborn, I'd have you roll like some kind of performance perception check, essentially, to see how well you actually speak it.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Orc.
That's unfortunate.
Everything but Draconic. Jesus.
I speak Dwarvish and then Common with an extremely thick, guttural Dwarvish accent. At least according to this.
Okay.
All right.
I will start spouting like prayers upon Bahamut and Draconic.
Why am I not surprised you would know Draconic, like, personally?
I mean, I am Dragonborn. All Dragonborn know Draconic.
Yeah.
Is that as Aaron or as?
That's as Novell. I'm trying to get back into the mind of my character, and my character is really pissed off at these two.
Okay.
So, you know.
Got it.
Which is why I'm a little bit
sassy,
hesitant to trust another new person I've met who's in my fucking swamp.
Okay.
Okay, but, like, what do you do?
This guy with the real questions.
Let's see. Hold on. I wonder if I want to. That's the problem.
Oh yeah. That being said, what are you also wearing?
I'm in full plate armor.
Yes.
I am in plate armor. I am like adorned in full Paldrum paladin armor.
What's your weapons again?
I have a glaive.
Glaive? Okay, so no shield or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
And every time I say, "For I am Dragonborn," I'll pound my glaive twice upon the ground.
So, are you a paladin?
I am of Bahamut.
I feel more comfortable with this guy. Still don't trust you, but more comfortable.
Understandable. You smell funny too.
Absolutely.
Well, now, you're a paladin, but what if we end up in some morally gray areas?
Yo.
What kind of morally gray areas?
Don't listen to him.
I will not listen to him. Are you haunted?
And then
Here. To interrupt it, okay. My intelligence, all right, is I believe it's 6.
It's either, I was about to say it's either stupid low or stupid high.
Okay, during this moment of like pregnant silence, Elias comes in and says, "All right, I found a bottle that won't burst your penny pocket." He just sees this like quietness and just it's like, It's only about 30 gold per bottle, but I'll just leave it here in case you're still.
I'll take 4.
4. Oh, right then. All right. I'll check if I still have a few more in the back. All right. So he leaves the one bottle, heads to the back.
So who are the rest of you?
Well, I am Manuel of Barkton of Countyville City Town. It's a small place. Wonderful people, however. That's it. I live here now.
I am Boar of Boar Senior. I do magic.
I like boars. They're quite delicious.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to taste this one. I can't even do the accent anymore.
I like the Cockney. That's fine, actually.
I'm just a girl trying to get a drink here.
Well, girl trying to get a drink here. What do you do?
I play my lute and get really drunk. I occasionally do also throw an axe through a window. Several windows.
But over the last day, mostly just pissed me off.
I throw in axes through windows.
I see. That is unfortunate.
It really is.
Elias comes back with how many did you want? 4. With 3 more bottles in hand of the less than stellar wine, or in his opinion at least less than stellar wine. All right, so 4 bottles for 30 each. That'll be. Sorry,
120.
My numbers.
120.
120 gold. I don't know where my mind is right now.
I hand over 120 gold.
I said 4, right?
That's
a lot of gold.
Yeah. Well, the other one was quite expensive, I think.
We also just got paid.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Don't worry. Yeah, these guys just got paid, so that's why I sent them on a shopping trip. All right, enjoy them. I know that I don't.
Okay. Well, anyway, so this has been an awfully awkward introduction. What are we doing?
Oh yes, of course. Leonard prepares himself. He reaches into his heavy cloak and pulls out a map and is like, Elias, if I may. And it's like, of course, my friend. And he clears out a couple of spaces on his counter, and Elias puts down a map of the local area. Aaron, you're pretty familiar with this area.
Yes, I am.
And he says, all right, I've been assigned to collect some crystals with various special magical arcane properties. And I've discovered recently that this mountaintop right up here, which is about probably a day or two to walk away from this town, inside the cave is actually an incredible abundance of these crystals. When I had initially gone in, I was by myself to grab them. I seem to disturb the local wildlife. A number of Kobold had established themselves within that cave, and when they found me rooting around their precious stones, they immediately came upon me. Yes.
Did you say Kobold?
Yes. Did we not discuss this last time?
I do not remember.
Oh well, I'm explaining it now. Are Kobolds going to be a problem?
No. I hate kobolds.
Okay, good.
They praise the heretic Tiamat, the crazed sister. The heretic Tiamat. They wish to become dragons even though they are not dragons.
That mountain?
Yes, that one right here. You've seen this mountain in the distance before from your. Well, I mean.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess. What are you trying? What are you pointing out? Why is this mountain? Why are you pointing out this mountain specifically?
When we get done playing today, I need to talk to you about some things.
Okay, I guess. Anyway, so he said they had immediately swarmed me, and I barely got out of my life, and I am currently still healing at the moment, as you can see, and he gestures all over his body, his face, which has a couple claw mark scars, still kind of fresh-ish along his face. He's got a upon closer inspection, you see he has a couple of wrappings as well on top, beneath already his numerous layers. But any normal person would kind of call it there, but these crystals are very, very important, and I would like to get as many as I can before I leave this town, even if it has cost me quite a bit. But and it will cost me again because you will all be appropriately paid for your service, for helping me out. I only need to collect maybe at least 2 buckets full. I've been able to coerce Mr. Banner to give everyone a discount on all their stuff. Pretty much everything that he's already sold you has been discounted as well. In exchange for some of the crystals to give him. So I just need at least a bucket or 2 buckets would be best. One for me, one for him. And I'm not sure if these crystals would be of any use to you. They pretty much only provide just they exude magical energy, which in turn power some of the more complicated mechanics that some of the dwarves and gnomes have created back in the capital city. So there are a number of people who would be willing to purchase these for a more than modest fee. You're welcome to any that I don't end up personally using, or even something as small as maybe he grabs a random trinket, which is about the size of this. Even about much of this would fetch about 20 gold on the market. So imagine what you could do with, and he kind of gestures like a dodgeball size with that. Imagine what you could do with this much. If you happen to come across it and can pack it away in your inventory before Kobold tries to gouge your eyes out, you're more than welcome to take it. As I said before, that even at just the entrance of this cave, there's quite an abundance of these crystals, and the Kobolds are very, very intent on protecting it.
Fear not, for I will skewer many a Kobold in your honor.
That's very comforting to hear. Sylack, thank you. If you I'm hoping you guys will accept my offer. You get to keep whatever crystals you manage to collect for yourself, and I will each pay you all as well 100 gold each.
Give me the biggest backpack you've got back there, and you've got a deal.
It's like, 1 backpack, I'll be right up. And Elias heads to the back, returns with a satchel. It's not a bag of holding, so it's not going to be infinite. And it'll probably hold maybe. Fuck, what is the actual measurements? I guess it's probably as big as Gunther's backpack.
Perfect.
So yeah, this will run me about 30 gold, please.
I'll take it.
All right, so add in a small backpack into your inventory. Mm-hmm. Would anybody else like a bag to collect these lovely crystals with?
No, thank you.
All right.
I got a bag.
And then Leonard says, "Oh, that reminds me, actually, Elias, you have one of these crystals, correct?" "Oh, yes, I do. He runs over to one of the to where all the trinkets are, kind of hovers a finger across them. "Ah, yes," and he picks up a small, about dice-sized gem. It's blue and it's glowing. It looks like it's a little unrefined, so it hasn't been. So it still has a bit of tarnish to it on the edges, but overall, any of the flat planar faces that you see have a very nice gloss and sheen to it, and even the inside of it looks like it's glowing with this unusual light on the inside. It's like, these are very, very valuable to the right person. It's like this one, as I'm currently selling, marked up, admittedly, for 50 gold. Like I said, it's about yay big. So
wonderful.
Yes. So please bring me as much as you can. All right. So does anybody have any last minute stipulations, concerns?
What time is it right now?
It's about 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay. I will down my drink.
You had a drink?
Apparently.
Slam it down. Let us go, friends, for we have many kobold to slay and many crystal to gather.
That's a vote from... I keep wanting to say Skylar. Sylack. Well, that's a vote from Sylack.
Hold on for a sec. Are you literally the land of the lost thing?
Huh?
Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of Sleeslacks.
Yeah, that's what he was.
Same too.
This guy's gonna be a little intense, but I'm down.
Let's go.
Hell yeah! I've got my bag. I'm going to get rich.
Wonderful. I'm gonna I'll prep our
Rich,
I'll prep
right.
our cart. And when you're ready, just meet me outside. And he shuffles off. He shuffles upstairs first, and yeah, and pretty much leaves you guys to your own devices for a little bit.
I go outside with him.
Okay. So yeah, after he heads up and heads out, you follow him. Elias Banner looks you head. It's like, so would any of you else like anything else from my fine shop, or will I be expecting to see you within a couple of days?
I took the 4 bottles of my wine into my satchel. I'm good.
Fair enough, fair enough, good sir.
I've still got plenty of alcohol.
You got it that way.
I'm good. I'm good.
All set?
Yes.
All right. So, you head outside and you see Leonard's cart. It's a very simple cart, not too big. It's drawn by a small horse. It's like feel free to hop in the back if you want. Is anybody gonna walk, or is anybody who's gonna ride?
I hop in the cart.
I'm too short. I'm hopping in.
Okay.
I'll walk.
Okay.
I'm also walking.
Okay. The two of you hop in, and you see that there are a couple of buckets in the back, probably about yay big, and a few just like a knapsack, which presumably belongs to Leonard. All right, let's go. And he rears the horse. You set off. You pass through the town of Red Pine. It's going about its usual busyness. Pass through the market, people selling wares here and there. You eventually get to the outskirts, close to where the barracks are. You can see that. What's her name again? Crap, I actually do know her name because I used it on thanks to fucking Critical Role. What's her name again? Shit. Oh, Marisha. You see the Captain Marisha. You see her and her men are processing the Dreadwatch that you had recently captured through a few small cracks in the wall. And eventually you make your way past that, past the outskirts of the town into the main forest.
Wait, were they like on the other side of a wall and we were able to see them? Is that what was going on?
I guess in my head I'm like imagining like a fence, like a chain link fence, but I guess more realistically they're kind of more filing them into the fort, and as
hello.
So they're following them into the fort.
As they get the last guy in, they close the wooden gates behind him, and that's the last you see of any of them. I guess that's what I mean by processing.
Okay, but there's like not any specific thing between us and them.
Just aside from a 15-foot tall wooden wall, made from just like various logs. Yeah, that's the fort.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're just passing by.
Oh. Jimmy, make good choices, boy.
You know. At this point, they closed the gate, so you didn't really hear it. All right, so eventually you guys enter the actual forest. Pine trees are just swarming you on the left and the right, and you're slowly making your way up the winding trail. The elevation gets a little higher and higher and higher, and the sun begins to set. Leonard looks at his surroundings, sees the sky getting much more orange, and he turns the horse over onto the side of the road in a small flat clearing, and he says, "All right, think we're gonna call it a. Well, I'm thinking of taking a rest here for now. It's gonna be another day's walk. We'll probably get to the cave entrance by mid-afternoon tomorrow. Are you guys okay to keep going, or should we take a rest?"
I'm already drunk, and I fall off the cart onto my face.
Roll a dexterity check. Just straight dexterity check for me, please. You have your dice?
No, I wasn't able to find my dice, but my app does have a roll counter.
Oh, cool.
9.
All right. Even though you are kind of aware that you kind of anticipate that moment before you do keel over, you've done this enough times. This time you don't really care, and you kind of just you fall and hit the ground, taking one point of bludgeoning damage. All right. I guess I don't think she speaks for all of you.
Absolutely not.
I'm fine with continuing as long as everyone else is.
Another dwarf drunk. We've all seen dwarves drunk. I remember a time where a drunk dwarf was in my presence.
Do you?
Yes.
How did this end?
Huh?
How did it end?
How did it end? Exactly as you see before you.
That's quite an ending.
All right. I think I will be okay to keep going as well throughout the rest of the night. But if the rest of you need to rest in the back of the cart, that's perfectly fine. Old Monty here will keep us going.
Can we?
I think we need to put this one back in the cart first.
Can we leave her instead?
You're her bodyguard, remember?
She has not paid me in several days.
Well, you could say this.
If you leave me behind, I swear I will haunt your soul.
She has not paid me in several days.
I mean, you have to be dead to haunt, so I think we're okay.
Leonard gets off the thing, picks up the dwarf. How much you weigh again?
3,000 pounds. Sterling.
Where is my weight? It doesn't want to show me.
Well, regardless.
Either way, I help Leonard.
Well, no, actually, surprisingly, he manages to pick her up rather easily with two hands under her armpits, lifts her up rather easily, and plops her inside of the cart.
What race is Leonard?
He's as far as you can tell, he's a human. I mean, if you want to roll a perception check to look closer.
That is a 13.
13?
19. Hold on. Plus 5.
Well, really?
24. I have high perception.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, here's what you do notice. You notice he doesn't seem to do it in like he doesn't like lift with his legs. He pretty much just like literally bends down, picks her up, and drops her in. That's what you do notice. He doesn't use any kind of proper form. He just picks her up, tosses her in.
Effortless.
Pretty much effortlessly.
Is that true?
I don't know where that number came from. She's 3'11" apparently as well.
How much does she weigh?
Well, my sheet was saying 257, which seems a bit high for 4 foot tall. No?
Dwarves are stocky.
Yeah.
Fair.
And it still stands. He manages to without using any proper like lifting form. He doesn't lift with his legs. He just bends down, picks her up, tosses her back in, without any real like strain on his face or anything. That's what you guys notice.
I'll pat him on the back and say, "I knew a strong man like you before."
Really? And I appreciate that you think I'm strong. And he walks back to the front of the cart and gets on. Sylack, are you going to continue walking, or would you like to take a rest in the cart with everybody else?
I will continue walking. I have walked many a time through journeys afar. Walking this short a distance is nothing.
Is you walking for another full day going to affect health, constitution, stamina, endurance, or anything like that?
That's up to you.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You want me to make a constitution check?
Okay, we'll do this first. Since you've already agreed to that, you're going to keep walking. Who's going to rest in the cart?
I'm actually going to begin walking.
You? Okay.
I'm going to get out of the cart and start walking.
Interesting. Aaron, are you gonna meditate?
I am going to keep walking.
Interesting. Okay, so as all of you keep walking, you actually begin to see morning's dawn actually rising over the mountain that you're actually heading towards.
Hold on. So, Lizard Man.
Yes, Neville.
How are you?
I am well.
That is great to hear. What brings you to my fair city?
I travel a great distance to find the word of Bahamut.
Educate me about this. Bahamut?
Bahamut.
Please, tell me more.
She is a 5-headed metallic dragon who birthed many dragons before her, or after her. They are her kin, and I wish to become one of her kin.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
I think so too. Not quite.
Can I do a religion check to see if anything he's saying is true?
Let me find a list of gods, and you can.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, I just had it here.
So you like to do things that are good, right?
Okay, make a quick roll. Yeah, roll for religion.
I believe so. I believe 17. I am doing good.
17. Okay, Bahamut is indeed a dragon god, but you're not sure if he's right about the things like the heads or the color. And as far as you can also remember, Bahamut isn't exactly a legal deity according to the Empire. There is the tiefling variant, which is a combination of the Drexel Empire's cosmic pantheon and their old age pantheon, which is essentially just the pantheon in D&D lore. So you're not entirely sure where he's getting all this from, but he does seem to have the right notes. He's just not playing it well.
So, Lizard Man, how long have you dedicated yourself to Bahamut?
A couple years, I believe.
A couple. What made you sent you down this path?
Well, you see, a man I once knew took care of me, and he too was a follower of Bahamut. And he protected me and my family from many a danger.
How long ago was this?
A couple years ago.
A man took care of you and your family a couple years ago.
Yes. He raised me from a hatchling, in fact.
I'm not mistaken. How long do you Dragonborns usually live? If I'm not rude asking.
Quite a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
A long, long time?
A long, long time.
Not a couple of years.
You're asleep.
Does the dwarf normally sleep talk?
Yes, it's very annoying.
That is quite unfortunate.
It is.
I knew a sleep talker once. She wouldn't stop rambling in her sleep.
Trying to roll investigation on this.
What are you trying to investigate?
This
How old he is?
Scenario, or like
it would be insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, insight.
Okay.
Which would be an 18 of what I just rolled.
Roll again since you didn't tell me originally. Okay, it was a nat 1. As far as you can tell, you believe every word he says. You know he's not a you know for sure he's not a dragonborn, but as far as his story, it checks out.
I mean, it's close enough, right? No.
It's like hatchling. I've heard that word before. All right, I'd like everyone real quick to roll a Constitution check.
Including me?
Sure.
That would be an 18.
18?
17.
17?
15.
15? Is that net 1 or 7?
That was a 7.
7.
Okay. All right.
What?
Surprisingly, you two seem to be doing just fine. Even though you've been walking for about a day straight. Amethyst actually wakes up from her drunken slumber. Aaron, you're starting to look a little worse for wear. Leonard notices this. Is like, Neville, are you sure you're doing all right? Would you? It's still going to be quite a walk to the cave, and I would like everybody to be at the best. Would you like to take a quick rest inside the wagon?
Hold on. We're on a mountain, right?
We're climbing up one, yeah. At this point, we're still in the forest, though. However,
I don't remember where it is.
because I know you have the capability to do the whole.
Can meditate for 2 hours and be fine.
No, it's not that.
Okay. Always like mountainous terrain, your preferred terrain or something like that.
Oh.
I was just reading exactly what it says, so I knew everything. Okay, so it says nothing about me being tired. It just says that we can't be slowed down for by anything that is my fault, at least, on a mountain. So, how long's the long rest?
Usually it's about 8 hours.
How much longer of travel do we have?
At this point, probably about eight more hours.
Long rested earls.
Okay. All right. So
I am half elf, so I'm not actually rested.
I was gonna
but,
say, I actually have Song of Rest. If we wanted to do a short rest, I can heal everybody up.
that'd be useful when we make it to the end, close to the cave.
Gotcha.
So you hop in the back, and you take
Sure.
a bonus off. Okay.
Sure.
You hop in the back. You assume the position. Yes, I'm using it. I'm saying that exactly the way it is, and kind of just sit there in the cart while we continue moving.
So, Dragonborn, about how long ago did you hatch?
A long, long, long time ago.
How many solar cycles?
What is a solar cycle?
A year.
What is a year?
365 days.
That's a lot of days.
It is many days.
I do not count that many days.
How many harvests?
How many seasons?
Harvest.
Many.
Jeez.
Do you brief your people to count years or days or shit?
We counted winters.
How many winters then?
Many winters.
I swear I haven't had a drop, but it feels like it talking to you.
I've been told that many a time.
I'm sure you have.
I'm glad to hear it once again.
Do I actually know whether or not Dragonborn are actually hatched?
I like how desperate you are to try and really figure this out.
No.
I know, I'm glad. I'm actually really happy about it.
I guess make an intelligence check. Are you proficient in intelligence? Do you have it checked?
Let me check real quick. Because I cannot remember.
Because usually, if it's not checked, it's just going to be whatever feat it's associated with, right? Or
What? You can have him roll an intelligence
Oh,
check.
okay.
It's just not an intelligence save. If he has a proficiency in save,
oh,
he
so that's
gets a
what the
bonus.
so that's what the numbers are for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
I actually don't know.
No, yeah, you don't know. It's like you've heard of dragons. Well, I mean, it's like dragons are lizards. Lizards come out of eggs. I guess it makes sense.
Right. No.
You've never personally seen a live birth. You've personally ever been to an operating theater and seen a lady dragonborn drop an egg.
I'm sorry for all that questions. I just like to know who I'm traveling with.
No, I understand, friend. I have exchanged many stories with many people of many races.
Many.
Not a couple.
No, many.
Many.
Jeez.
I have traveled with a caravan much larger than this one, in fact.
How many caravans?
Just one.
Just one.
For a long time.
Very long time. Okay.
No, just a long time.
Oh, just a long time. My bad.
Not a very long time.
My bad. I'm sorry. Who's on first?
Okay.
All right.
So, eventually, do you have any more questions for him?
Yes, but they can wait.
Do you have any questions for him? Anything you'd like to check out about this guy that you've known only mildly tipsy, and sober enough to know him fully?
What's your preferred drink?
Dr. Pepper, apparently.
My preferred drink, other than water.
Generally, yes. The booze, my friend.
Oh. I prefer the kind with the highest content possible.
You and me are going to be great friends.
Content what?
The potential has just increased a lot to make this a lot more interesting.
I still got a lot of alcohol.
So you enjoy eating the flames too?
I've been known to, depending on the meaning.
Incredible.
Okay. So what you just asked is like depending on the meaning. Okay. Did you have anything to respond to that? Or, no. Okay.
I just said incredible.
Okay. Cool. All right. So. Eventually, after this round of interesting conversation passes, the mountain you guys are heading to just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually, you find yourself at the base of it. Eventually, you find yourself climbing up its face on a rather rocky terrain. The cart is now jittering on the uneven rocky road. Doesn't really seem. Actually, honestly, doesn't actually bother you. Perturbs the horse a little bit. Leonard has to kind of get his reins and control over it again. And it's like, sorry, I know I've been up here once, but it's still a bit difficult, especially with more people and somebody in the back. Eventually, you get to quite a ways up the mountain. This point, sun's pretty much overhead. Leonard stops the cart and says, "All right, we're about. You see over there," and he points in the distance, a cave entrance, probably about 60 feet away. That's the entrance for the kobolds. If there's anybody needs to do to prepare for right now, please do. I don't want us to be idling by the entrance of that cave with the potentially alerting the kobolds to our presence.
Does that mean I wake up?
Yeah, at this point you've woken up. You see that we've been climbing the mountain, and you've been awake for a few more hours since while we've finally made it to this point in the journey.
Cool.
Roger, did you want to do your spell?
Yeah.
Right. Does it need any particular? Is it like a cantrip, or does it need any particular thing to do it? Do people?
Song of Rest, soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you can hear your performance regain, you or anyone can hear it regain hit points.
That's during a short rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I would like real quick though. I would like Alex and Gunther to roll constitution checks. Because it has been another 8 hours or so since we've been walking, since your last check.
11.
11. Did you just roll this?
I just rolled that one, and
you're adding.
God damn it.
11 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
is broken. 20.
20. Okay. You somehow are still fine even after all this trekking. Gunther, Sylack is still looking pretty good, but he is, he does seem a little hunched over more than usual. Don't know how you would like to interpret that. Oh well, I mean, so it is still up to me. Just for the sake of things.
Do I feel exhausted?
Little bit. It is starting to creep up on you.
Lizardman, maybe you should take a moment to rest. Regain some strength. That way you have full power to fight off all those kobolds you hate.
It is normal of Dragonborns to get tired. They are very strong, very powerful people, but they wear themselves out fast.
That, I guess.
I do not wish to rest. We have Kobold to kill.
Alright, so what did you show?
I made a self-intelligence check. I rolled a 6.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh, no.
Alright, let me think on this.
Was that your way of helping you decide how you were going to do that?
Yeah. Let me see. Okay.
I mean, I don't feel exhausted, so I can keep going.
Yep, that's logic.
Yep.
Fair.
Okay, I think I know a way I can play this out. But for now, all right. Does anybody need to prep anything first before we head inside? Or
Do you have a torch?
Yes, actually. Oh wait, no, actually. All right. So, for one thing, that's kind of the first mistake I made going in there. I don't know if perhaps they smelled the smoke or fire or saw the light, but it did alert the kobold to my presence at first. And I realized it was unnecessary because the crystals are actually quite self-illuminating. They fill the entire cavern with light. Yes.
Trying to be as vague as possible, but how much would I know about this mountain and the kobold and everything there, given the fact that I live here?
Roll a nature check, please.
So we can see some of the crystals at the edge of the cavern.
Yes, and you do see a faint. I should have mentioned this earlier when it was dark. But the mountain, you do see an unusual, out of place blue glowing speck on the dark face of the mountain at night. And as of right now, you do see a bit of a ominous blue glow coming from that distance, far away.
Being a dwarf, a hill dwarf, would I know anything special? Or would I be able to know anything special that I should start looking for, or no? Like know anything special about this mountains?
That's actually a good idea.
At the very least, maybe I've heard of something from generations or stories or something, maybe.
Okay. Roll a... Would you like to help Aaron on his nature check, or would you like to both roll 2 separate nature checks at once?
Could probably help with yours. I guess, yeah.
How do you want to do that then?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, if I remember this correctly, otherwise I'm just pulling this one out of my ass. Both of you roll nature checks, because this will essentially just say this is rolling with advantage, and we'll just use the higher number.
What'd you roll? Plus
10.
your modifier.
Plus my modifier 10.
You don't have any modifier for that?
Not for nature, no. I wasn't expecting...
It would be your intelligence.
Yeah, 0 for intelligence.
Okay.
0 bonus for intelligence.
Well then, I rolled an 11.
Okay. You know that this mountain is... Sorry, I actually forgot to give this mountain a name. Did I actually give it a name?
That's not why I was laughing, but okay.
But it was an interesting sound, right?
I was just saying that.
Huh? You did. You know this mountain is called Bale's Ridge. It was named after a general who was a prominent figure in the Battle of Red Pine, and it was named in his honor. Although this crystal thing is new to you. You haven't heard of there having been any kind of precious ores of any kind there, nor have you heard of any kobolds recently either. And same goes for you. This mountain kind of just looks like the usual mountains you've dealt with. It's been years since you stepped foot in a mine, so you wouldn't really know what kind of crystals we're dealing with. And the whole explanation back at Banners pretty much went over your head. All you know is that they glow and they're magical. But you don't know any specifics, like what kind it is, or if you've ever come across anything similar.
Cool.
Yep.
Do you have an apple?
Apple. Let me check. He looks in his pack and he's like, yes, I do have an apple. He kind of pinches it a little bit in his hand. Might be a day or two old. Don't know if that's all right for you or not.
That's fine.
Okay. He tosses it your way. Rolling. Roll dexterity check. Straight dexterity.
Straight dexterity?
Yes.
Okay.
To catch the apple.
19.
You catch it. And it does feel a little softer than it should be, but you don't like grab it so hard you squeeze it, but it is a little.
I put it in my pocket.
All right, toss it in the pocket. All right. I don't know if I have anything else anybody might need. Would anybody else like some rope or pickaxe?
Do you have a torch?
Yes, but as I said before, I would rather we not use it at the moment since we will be able to see in there, and I'd rather not attract the.
That is fine.
Yeah.
I would like a torch.
All right then. He hands you the torch.
I'll take a pick.
Okay, I do have one pick. Yeah, here we go. It's he happens to have two on hand, and he hands you one. So add that to your inventory, please, and the torch to yours.
I will take a pick, and if you're not going to carry rope, I will carry the rope.
Okay. Do I have any more? Yes, I do have another pick. Perfect. All right, he hands you another pick as well. All right. These gems, they're softer than they look, but you will need to use some considerable force to pry them off. But please try not to, I guess, break them apart in manageable chunks, please, if you are going to harvest any. While I did say that large chunks do fetch a fair price, they are a lot more to deal with. And I only have 2 buckets, and I'd like to fill it with as much as I can of smaller pieces, perhaps. But I won't mind any particularly large chunks. But
Would you have
try
a
not
cart?
to do too many. I do have the cart, but I'm going to be leaving it here. I do not want my horse to be eaten by kobolds.
I can't imagine that would be beneficial.
No, it would not.
For the kobolds, it would be.
Yes.
Could make multiple trips.
If we're lucky enough, yes. These kobold.
Or we can clear out the kobold heretics and free this cave of their scum.
Like you said, intense, but good. A little intense, but he's.
That's racist.
All right, so are we ready? Are we ready, gentlemen? What?
Intense.
Oh, Jesus. All right, whatever. All right, so are we ready?
I am unfortunately ready.
Okay. All right, so please, shh. We're going to do this quietly first until they notice us, if they even notice us at all. Manage to mine as much as you can. I will be taking care of my own personal batch. So let's do this quietly. So he walks. The 5 of you begin to walk over towards the cave entrance. I would like everybody to roll a stealth check, please.
Sneaky.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Stealth.
Stealth.
And with disadvantage since you have the plate armor.
Who has plate armor?
Gunther.
Oh. I have scale mail.
Shoot, is that
You
considered?
would you would have to check the equipment on that.
I have it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. That's that. Second. I should have it right here. AC 14 stealth.
I roll 15.
15. Okay.
It's right here. I know it says that.
That's a disadvantage.
Oh, it's
So
disadvantage.
scale mode gives you disadvantage. Okay. Anybody else wearing anything in particular?
So,
No?
do I have to do the 2 rolls?
2 rolls. Go with the lowest.
That sucks. Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad I told you.
Thank you.
Even though I'm not. But, yeah. That's unnatural 20. And that's unnatural 21. So 20.
Not bad. Okay. Gunther. Seriously. Roger.
21.
20?
21.
21 and 15. Okay, so everybody manages to. Okay, here. Let me roll for Leonard as well.
Oh my.
Okay.
The Scottish dwarf is quieter than you.
So the three of you and Leonard actually managed to kind of hugging the wall. Dirt beneath your feet just ever so gently crumbling as you encroach upon the entrance of the cave. Well, for one thing, actually, real quick, I forgot to actually ask this as well. What's the marching order? Well, Leonard is going first, or did you?
Gunther's going first. Oh no.
The lizard's going first.
All right, so yeah, just for the sake of this, you're not entirely sure what quiet means, and you just kind of chunk, straight up to the passing the marching order, which would be in this case. I'm just gonna go by the numbers you guys rolled. You said 15, right? 21.
21.
And 20. So Leonard is in front of
Amethyst.
Leonard, Amethyst, Aaron, and Boar. And marching past you guys is Skylar's straight up to the front of the cave. And
Can I go on? I'll just
straight up to the front of the cave. You all kind of freeze for a second as you watch this. How tall are you again? Yes.
What happens if I throw a potion of invisibility on someone?
Oh, good point. Well, first.
How tall are you? Oh. I should be taller than everyone. Well, like a Junkrat taller than everyone. I'm hunched over, but if I actually was able to adjust my spine, I'm probably.
Aaron's actually the tallest.
I'm a half elf.
So you're 6 what?
Half elf. So I'm actually pretty close to human height. So
okay, so 6 foot.
Yeah, it's probably 6 foot.
Okay, so yeah, you would still be the tallest.
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
All right. And just to make things even funnier, because you rolled a 3, you're not skulking about hunched over. You're marching with vigor, chest out, just chunk.
Can I light the torch as we do so?
Oh God.
To help incriminate this 3.
Manny, you're missing a really nice opportunity here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we were all just in a group talking about how we were going to go in there and do all the mining stuff and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a
Quietly.
group. And then he rolls a 3.
It's just barges in. Might as well be screaming. Might as well be screaming something.
How did it take you, of all people, that long?
Okay, see, I would have done that if you had rolled a natural 1.
That's a good point.
So it would have been full charge, but I'm trying to be as sensible as I can here. So for the sake, okay, so
I would still like to light the torch to help incriminate this 3, though.
Trying to figure out what I want to do. Okay,
because the glowing has completely went over my head, and I'm assuming cave. Oh, it's probably gonna be dark.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, let's go for that. Okay, so are you gonna light it using your whole performance bit, or
no? I'm just gonna.
Oh,
and then march.
All right, and just march in, glaive in hand, torch in the other. And Roger, did you still want to try and toss an invisibility potion on him?
Do we want to see what happens?
Let's do it.
Out of character.
All I know is that my character is very annoyed at everyone and everything, so I'm just like
disappointed.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like that. Everyone is like, dun, 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 and we just like...
You thought you finally had someone you could work with.
I thought I finally had an intelligent individual amongst us.
Actually, you know what? That helps make my decision. I'm going to hold off because as much as I want to quickly and safely get as much money as possible,
this is...
seeing him in pain is more entertaining. So I'm gonna let Sylack Pit go on in as far as he wants.
I want to know what happens if you throw it.
All right, so...
Maybe later.
So
I'll use you for that.
So you quickly march up straight to the front of the cave, bang your glaive down on the floor, and Statue of Liberty yourself across, just like moving your torch across the mouth of the cave, and you see all these beautiful large blue crystals just dotting the mouth of it. Leonard, after busting out of a shock, immediately kind of just motions all of you to move faster, and you scooch closer to the wall. Leonard grabs your arm, pulls you down, and says, "What are you doing?"
I'm going into the cave.
It's like, yes, but quietly, meaning no sound and no light. And he takes, with his gloved hand, grabs the torch head, extinguishing it, and pulls away his glove, significantly charred, and even a little bit of embers on it. But he just shakes it away, and with his other hand, as quietly as he can, pats it out, and he says, "All right." It's like, so he looks into the cave's mouth, and is just kind of looking and looking. Okay, I really hope they don't. I don't think they heard any of that. So for now, ease yourselves in again, and let's start mining. If Sylack, if you are really that intent on wanting to find and fight kobolds, please stand guard a good way away from us. Well, not too far away. I don't want to lose you. And let us know if anything is coming our way. Okay?
A tear comes from his eye as you have snuffed out his flame. And he defeatedly walks over.
It's like,
to the other side.
Thank you, my friend. It's like, all right, the rest of you. This is pretty much as far as I got before I started doing any mining. The sound of my pickaxe hitting rock, I'm pretty sure is what initially alerted them. So if you can, try and mine as quietly as possible. Again, they're softer than they look, but they will still take a bit of force, but you don't need to full-on chop down a tree, all right? You just need to and kind of pry it off if you can. All right, yes.
I take out my short sword and a crowbar.
Oh, okay. All right, so Leonard will head over to to a small corner where he'll take his pickaxe out and kind of just gently begin to crack at the thing. What's everyone else going to do?
I'm going to try using my pick as a pry bar.
Okay. Roll strength check, please. Ooh.
And
plus
2, so 17.
Not bad. Roger?
I don't know. I'm going to go...
Well, wait.
Yeah.
So are you going to mine, or?
Yeah, I'm going to just start finding as many loose rocks as I can and start stuffing in my bag.
Roll perception check, and I'll let you roll with advantage since you are a dwarf. In your case, you do manage to give one of them a good solid thwook and kind of just pop out a bit of crystal, and it falls on the floor. You put in your bucket. It's probably about the size of half a loaf of bread.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Aaron?
I'm gonna go just slightly further into the cave, see if I can, see anything.
Okay. First off, what did you roll?
18.
And that was your highest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You do manage to find a few fist-sized bits of rock, crystal in the wall, and manage to pry at least 3 just by hand. Some of the other ones you're seeing take a little bit more oomph. So if you'd like to roll a strength check for those, or if you want to start actually picking at any, if you can, picking at any larger ones.
Yeah. See, so you need me to roll for strength?
Yes. Just straight strength. Just 2? Really? Christ. Okay. Well, first off, you sneak in a little farther. What you can see at the moment is a dejected Sylack just kind of standing watch, just kind of slouched.
I don't know if it matters at all since the cave is technically illuminated.
Yes.
I do have dark vision.
Okay. All right. You can't still, even with your dark vision, you are starting to see, you're seeing a lot farther than you expected, as if the place was lit by daylight. And you don't see anything initially. Does your lizard man have a?
That's why I need a torch.
Okay. Well, the place is still pretty lit. It's kind of like. It's not as lit as he can see, but you can still see some stuff.
I'm aware.
Yeah. In your case, you do see that the crystals farther in are much bigger than the ones on the outside. Like we're talking probably size of that sofa. All the ones you guys are finding are probably about the size of this thing.
Oh, it's quite large.
And that you're currently picking at, and then more of the bigger ones deeper in the cave look like that. So with you, you're trying to be as gentle as you can. And eventually you even it starts to get kind of frustrating using this pick to hammer at this piece of rock. And so eventually you pull back and you decide, all right. You look at Leonard, see if he's not looking, and you pull back, make a wide swing at a piece of crystal. And there's a very audible but but even then you barely make a dent.
Can I get out my axe and just start hacking angrily? Because I feel like if she hot-headed, that's probably something she would do if she starts getting frustrated enough to do a wild swing
I don't
like
mind.
that.
I don't mind that. I don't mind at all. But yes, what were you gonna say first?
Lizard man.
Are you guys whispering or are you talking in normal?
Yes, elf lady.
Not quite talking normal, but not quite whispering.
So. A loud whisper.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I assume that we're standing about this far apart.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you call me?
Are you just registering this now?
Well, I was talking to you.
I called you elf lady.
Oh. I'm a man. Okay.
Wait, do you have long hair?
I have slightly longer hair, yeah.
Yes, elf lady.
Would we say? I guess like your hair would be like what it was before.
Not quite that long.
Okay.
But I don't know, like just shoulder length about.
It's 11:15. I'll stay until 11:30. Let's go. Okay.
Ignoring that, would you like to have some fun?
What do you mean by fun?
Who made that sound? Oh, no. That's not what I was talking about. I know about that.
He's mine, you Melvin bastard!
What? No, fuck you.
Anyways, continue, please.
Yes. You want to kill some Kobold?
I would love to kill some kobold.
Do you want to sneak up on them? Or do you want to bring them here?
I feel like this is a trick question. I would like to kill some kobold.
Roger can now do whatever he would like.
All right. Upon you make your big ting, and immediate frustration overtakes you. You drop. You pull the pickaxe away, toss it on the floor, take out your axe, and roll another strength check, please.
Please, something. 20!
You, with a vicious grunt, you take your axe and dive it straight into the piece of crystal that you were trying to hit with your pickaxe. You dig the axe, your regular axe, straight into it. It makes a significant sound into it, and you kind of just jerk it around a bit until it a chunk of crystal eventually pops off and pries itself off, essentially with the leverage of your axe onto the ground with a Leonard looks at you and just goes like, quiet. You see that he has accumulated a considerable amount of very uniform-ish sized crystals in his own bucket. You haul your... Make another strength check.
12.
Okay. You managed to. It's like you don't haul it over your shoulder, but you do significantly pick it up and like you're holding a watermelon. So yeah. All right. I'd like you two to roll perception. With advantage.
Well, I was a nat 20.
Oh.
16.
Okay.
Well, let me see what my modifier is. Just
Very happy.
perception.
Mm-hmm.
24.
All right. So, you hear it first. You hear the sounds of skittering in the distance. About 5 seconds later, you start to hear it as well. The skittering for you though starts to become. You start hearing a conglomeration of voices suddenly, of and the sound begins to get bigger and louder and louder and louder, and the skittering becomes full-blown small footsteps, but in number. Leonard begins to hear it as well, and he's just like, retreat, and he
keep mining.
It's like, no, we're retreating now. And as he's saying this, a wave of Kobold, as far as you can see, deep in the tunnel, you see the tunnel is maybe about 15 feet wide in diameter at the most, but it kind of weaves in varying widths, but it's not that bad. And you can see that there are at least 5 or so Kobold up at the front, and as you see farther back, you can see at least a dozen or so following suite. 5 up front, at least. But I mean, since you did roll a natural 20, you can, from what this initial wave you're seeing at least 10 Kobold coming at you.
Sounds like
all
fun
once.
to me. I really want them to keep mining, though.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to convince Leonard.
I will. Now that I've heard this, I will scream, "It is the heretics! Keep mining, my fellows, for I will protect you, for I am Dragonborn!" And I would like to make a persuasion check.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That's a 20.
Nat?
No.
Okay. Leonard, he's like, okay, if you can buy us some time. And he's furiously chomping at the bit at this point, trying to fill his bucket rapidly with what little bits he can. Are you guys gonna do the same, or are you gonna join in on the fight?
I'm gonna try and knock a chunk off of crystal and then run into the fight.
Okay. Roll a quick strength check. Let's go with that one.
13 plus 2, 15.
All right. You managed to get one hook into the wall, pry off another piece of crystal, and an uneven chunk plops into your bucket. You drop the bucket, You drop the pickaxe, and you get ready, and you look forward at the battle. Roger?
Would this be about the right size?
Let's go with that, yeah.
Okay. Can I put this in my backpack and then just run to start chopping people up?
What's your strength modifier? Or what's your strength level at the moment?
My strength is at 10 total.
Oh. Okay, but I'm gonna say it slows you down 5 feet of movement speed.
Okay. So yeah, throw it in, and I get out my axe, start running.
Okay. All right. Damn it! I'm gonna have to actually make a map.
You know.
11:22. I think we're gonna have to call it here for now.
One more thing.
Yes.
I popped down a fog cloud in the space between myself and where they were mining.
Is that a cantrip?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How big is this cloud?
Are we getting a surprise round then?
No, I think you two are aware that they're coming. The kobolds are aware you're there. I think it's just gonna be a straight on rumble.
20-foot radius.
Oh, but with that, okay, so
that's what I mean. He's casting a cantrip, which is normally a standard action.
Okay, in this case, we'll see how that plays out. But for now, I think I'm actually going to.
Oh shit!
But for now, I think I'm going to call it here. We will start up again, and honestly, depending on how dirty it goes tomorrow, if everyone's available, I think we can continue this tomorrow night.
I will not be available until let's talk about this here in a minute. Next time.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. Will we survive? Will anybody ever find out the secret of the Lizard Man?
Does any of our younger viewers know this soap opera reference? Find out next time.
Jeez.
Hi everyone, this is Manny the DM, wanting to thank you for listening to Feats and Fantasies. We had a lot of fun this episode and would love to know if you enjoyed it too. You can talk to us on Twitter at Feats and Fantasies with the hashtag Cataclysm Rising. If you want to help support our adventures, please consider donating at doubletake.xyz/donate. All donations will go directly to improving the podcast and future projects related to Feats and Fantasies and help us fund better ways to get you involved. Thank you again for supporting our podcast by listening. Please share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.